Just making a quick video. I was inspired. Sometimes when you're working nights or thirds or seconds or off shifts, you just get tired a lot. You go through phases. Anybody that's been on it, I don't know. Sometimes it seems like you get headaches off and on. Too much caffeine, not enough. Too many meats, proteins, whatever, not enough. Probably not enough vegetables and fruits. Too much candy sometimes. But I don't know. It's funny how you go through the little wave of tired, awake, tired, awake, tired, awake. I don't know. You think all kind of weird stuff sometimes when you go through those waves. But so I was almost asleep. Then I woke up, and you know, now I'm feeling wide awake, and I just want to make a quick video. I usually just say I'm making this for my daughter, which I am, but inspiration of a lot of the videos, I guess. Before that it was just me talking to the walls or the world or life. Now it's like I can get a little bit of a focus there, and instead of just talking to maybe my nieces or their kids. It's a lot different when you have your own kids. You can give that little bit of extra focus, and sometimes your messages for your immediate family or others. I mean, even before that, sometimes you just want to get stuff off your mind. And I mean, I wish they would have had YouTube years ago. I mean, I would have so many more videos out. Some just, I don't know, analytical, I guess you could say. Some of them mind-boggling. Others just free-thinking thoughts of you feel so much different in your 20s and you want to talk so much more. And sometimes by the time you get to your, we'll say, mid-days, um, we'll just say that, a lot of times it's just, you just do. If you're at work, you just do. I mean, you might grumble about it, but you just do. And within reason, you're still going to grumble or talk about it sometimes, but like when you're in your 20s, you can make it an hour conversation. And when you're now, it's just like, 30 seconds to a minute. But I don't know. It's just like one of those things where I don't know. It's definitely a different day. I never thought about like when I had a camcorder, like, let's just, sit there and talk. It was always like, oh, you got to buy more disc, which is expensive. You got to do this, which is expensive. I mean, people did that, but not like they do now. I mean, obviously, it's like everybody and their brother and their sister have a phone or access to a phone or know somebody that's got a digital phone or a camera or all the other stuff. And I mean, technology is so amazing and great the way it's expanded with the technology to everybody's got a camera just about, it seems like, or, a cell phone or whatever. Where before it was like, man, and sometimes I'd carry a portable camera with me, and you had to take it to the store, drop it off, wait for a week or two. Bigger cities had 24 hours, and then they got it around here, but it'd still take 2 days depending when you dropped it off. And, sometimes it just depended on the technician and the paper they were using as far as your quality of pictures. And, I don't know, it's just so much nicer having it where you can just take pictures or turn a phone off and on and make a recording. So, a lot of this is just free thinking thoughts like, hey, I'm tired, let's make a video. I'm not going to post it right now, but down the road, why not? So, I mean, I made a couple other videos for my daughter. They're kind of lengthy in thoughts, and sometimes it's projection to the world of things that I see and observe, things that I have seen and observed for at least my 30 years in the work world, and maybe my almost 51 years on the planet. And it's like, not that you haven't seen them or not that you won't, but enjoy that time when you're young, even if you're people that are like in their teenage years and then they get into their 20s. And believe me, it's technology is so much greater for you. If you want to make recordings where you just talk to yourself for the world and put them out for people to see, it's so much different. And a lot of them are focused on video games, but I mean, the world has been totally changed by video games. I mean, when I did it, it was still the limited crowd. They weren't even considered geeks for video games. Computer people were still the geeks. Now they incorporate geeks into computer games, and they incorporate that into cosplay, which they never even really did that. Like when I was around, and people sometimes dressed up for costume parties and stuff. But cosplay's changed the world, and which is cool. Don't get me wrong. Even like the SCA Medieval Reenactment Group and tons of other ones, the Star Trekkers, whatever they're called. But I'm just saying, like, they've totally changed the world, which is cool. And so many things like paper and pencil, D&D, that changed the world. A lot of games, even video games, were inspired by that because it was one of the first, you know, RPG games, and it branched out with the concept of storylines for movies and other games and stuff. And I mean, they really come up with a good concept there. It's even broad spectrum to. I mean, they started teaching about computers when I was in school, and they talked about how it would fill a whole building, and then they got down to where a computer would just fill a room, and now you have a smarter computer in your hand or your TV, your smartphone, than they even had. I mean, most computers we got now is, you know, it powered basically the first rockets, and it was a lot more cumbersome. These, who knows what all they're capable of, and I'm sure there's ways to hack them and boost the powers and all kind of crap, and who knows, who knows. But I'm just saying, it's just strange how nobody ever really imagined how computers were going to significantly, at least not that I know of. You know, there was a lot of this and that, but nobody ever imagined that we would really have talking watches and phones this size on this magnitude. I mean, when I was a kid, you used to have a license to have a CB. I don't know if you still do. But it was like you had to go take a class and be registered and have your handle registered and all that stuff they did. And yeah, I was too young for that stuff. But it's the point now, you know, I think ham radios still do it and some of the other stuff. But like now, boom, you can have a cell phone in 2 seconds and nobody really worries about it. Nobody thinks about it. And I mean, we're not going to get into all the tracking and stuff that they talk about. I'm sure if they're going to do that, they're going to do that. You're not going to stop it. There's only so many ways to get secure lines, I'm sure. I don't even know anything about that stuff. But I don't know. It's like obviously certain governments have ways of doing that. And if you're not part of that, I don't think you're going to have knowledge of it. So unless it's something you're really into or you learned in school, but just for the average population, you know, what's trackable, what's not trackable. You know what I mean? Basically, the concept is mostly if we're not doing anything wrong, you should be okay. So, and if you are, don't use your cell phone. I don't know. I don't know why this stuff comes up when I start making some of these videos. It's just things you think about. You jump through hoops, you take steps. Yeah, it's a little dark in here, but that's, you know, I'm mellow. I'm getting ready to catch a little sleep at this certain time of the day. I'm not going to post a video right now. I might upload it later, but I don't even know when I'm going to post it. So, I just wanted to clear my thoughts and my minds, and, you know, there's just a lot of things that happen in life and work and people's health and family and things at school, and everybody goes through something at some point in time. Every dog has his day when people are whooping you around or trying to, and then just remember that, and don't be afraid to give it back to them, especially when they deserve it. You know, sometimes they're trying to be helpful, but other times they're just trying to knock you down a little. And sometimes you gotta, not physically, but you have to stick up for yourself and knock them back. So, sometimes they're just playing around. Other times they're just not very smart. And if they learn to be, it would be a shocker. Shocker. Long story short, who knows why you come up with these things. Not mention anything in particular, just how people are in life in general. And I don't know, sometimes you just got to go with the flow, and other times you got to go against the grain. And other times it's good just to take a nap while you're tired. Make sure you set your alarms. Alright, well, I'm not sure if I accomplished anything with this video. I was hoping to let me change the frames and stuff, but it is not. So, alright, we'll talk to you later. Take it easy.